two different interest rate environment scenarios and see how they affect his plan. So let's calculate it with that date and no adjustment to the interest rate. And again, this is where we can provide value with them, is showing them by, forecasting interest rates and staying ahead of the game and being able to make a decision based on interest rate movements. This is where we can really provide some value to them and make sure they maximize their net worth. So we clicked it, we calculated it. It takes us to the pension estimates page. Have them scroll down. This is the scenario we just ran, this date, with no adjustment rates, and it looks like that he will be receiving, if he left on that day, a lump sum of just under $285,000, or we could take the single life annuity of $1,400. If you were making the retire kit, you jot these down. You have these ready for yourself to input into the retire kit. But let's say that the whole reason for this call is to compare what would happen if interest rates were to rise. So scenario 2, we're going to run the exact same scenario, keep all things constant in order to show the effect of an interest rate. Going to be running at that date, non-spousal, again, and let's change this to a 2% rise by the time that 2014 comes around. Let's calculate and see, Mr. Prospect, what the difference is and what should we be concerned with. So if it looks like there can be a drop in your pension plan, we're going to make sure that we track these interest rates closely with you. Okay, so scrolling down here, get down, everything's the same except for the interest rate difference between these two. We went from 0 to, say, there's a 2% spike. Scrolling down, and you can see annuity unaffected by that interest rate change. However, if he was leaning towards a lump sum, it's looking like you'll be losing $50,000 if there were a change in interest rates. You can have the conversation, where are we now in the interest rate environment? Do you think rates are going to rise? We're at historical lows. Just making sure that we can at least provide a recommendation and keep them aware of the fact that, you need to stay in contact with us. You need to be working with us, because we will keep updating these retire kits for you over and over again to make sure that we stay on top of these interest rates, and we make sure that if there's ever a giant swing, we don't lose that $50,000. That's a huge difference, $50,000, especially for these employees that are working here that are making $50,000 a year. They're essentially working for free. So it would be almost better to leave prior to an interest rate change than stay around for another one. So that is just how, a way that some scenarios you could run. You could run different dates. You can run different ages. Let's run one when you're service pension eligible. Let's run when you're Social Security eligible, and see how everything lays out. But that was with the non-management plan. Let's go just take a look at the management plan, because there is that minor difference between the way that they're going to be viewed, just because of the CAM pension plan for management side. So non-bargained, the management side, let's click on it, and we can run some projections there. Again, it's going to give them a snapshot of their cash balance as of May 31st, 2013. However, we're going to be running for a future date. Clicking estimate your pension, come down, Mr. Prospect, could you please enter in 12/31, 2014. It's going to auto-populate his age. We're going to have a non-spousal beneficiary just to keep it simple. No adjustment to the interest rate. Let's calculate the payment option. Let's see what it comes out for us. Again, they calculated. You can have them scroll down and read it off to you. So if you were to leave at that date, sir, you will be receiving $1,900, just under $2,000 a month from your management pension, and looks like a partial lump sum. That is obviously meaning he falls under the CAM plan, partial lump sum with the residual annuity, a partial of $250,000, and just under $600 a month residual. Again, if this conversation, let's